Welcome to the Tea Huddle with Marisa and Kelly.
Your only source for gridiron gossip. If you're trying to keep your fantasy football team alive,
or if you based your whole draft strategy off who the players are dating,
then this is the place for you.
I did a little of both. I strategized. I wanted to pick people who I know a little bit about them. I did not pick Travis Kelce this year, which maybe
I
is
know
for the
I
best.
did because you did so well with him last year. I took the strategy of the Swifties.
I'm in 3 leagues. I think we've talked about that. One of them, I couldn't be doing worse. Just like truly the worst.
It's a lot to pay attention to.
Team that anyone's ever drafted. It's not my fault. It's the injuries. And then the other two, I'm thriving. So I'll take 2 out of 3.
I'm like right in the middle of both my leagues. So that's better than a lot of the football teams out there.
Definitely.
Here we are, week 5. So remember, people, if you are in a fantasy football league, the bye weeks start in week 5. So you have to start benching your players that will not have a game. That includes the Eagles, the Lions, the Chargers, and the Titans. So take a look.
That's a good
Unless
reminder.
You're playing against me.
And then look away.
Look away.
That's a good reminder. I brought a couple girls into our fantasy league this year who are... Some are paying attention, some are paying less attention. I should send texts this week that
they should listen in.
that say if there's a 0 next to somebody's name, they do not have the opportunity to get points. You should not play them. Note to self, send that text.
Unless they're playing me again.
I'll look up who everyone's playing and I'll text accordingly. But like you said, we are entering week 5 of the 2024 football season, which means it's time for a rundown of everything that happened during week 4. Kelly, what do you have for us?
I'm going to run through some highlights, some lowlights, but let me get the lowlights out of the way first.
Okay.
The Patriots proved to be unwatchable.
I'm so sorry.
Hate to say it, but they were unwatchable against the 49ers, but I don't want to write them off just yet because they might have a chance to be the quarterbackless Dolphins in week 5 because they are in some trouble as well. And that might be the last game the Patriots win this season, but we'll see. Also in week 4, the Jets and Giants made history by both failing to score a single touchdown at home at MetLife Stadium.
Not the kind of history either we're hoping to make.
No. But now for some highlights. The Buccaneers crushed the Eagles in Tampa. They won 33-16.
Unexpected.
Didn't see that one coming. Travis Kelce sort of broke out of his slump with the Chiefs win over the Chargers. It was nothing crazy, but I'll take it on my fantasy team. Any point counts.
Yeah.
And lastly, Jared Goff played an historic perfect game on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks, but he still didn't manage to get the game ball from Dan Campbell.
Okay, I feel like you're missing an important fact from that Lions game. Not only did he make all of his
18 passes,
I'm not going to mess up all the proper language, but he caught a football. I mean,
he caught
a football.
His first career touchdown. Yeah,
he's throwing touchdowns. He's catching touchdowns. My man can do it all.
Incredible. And I really want to know who Dan Campbell gave the game ball to if it wasn't him.
Yeah, in a post-game interview, one of the press people was like, "Oh my God, Dan Campbell, your quarterback Jared Goff just had a perfect game. It was historic. What do you think?" And he was like,
he was horrified at his face.
He was like, "I didn't realize it was perfect, and I just gave the game ball to somebody else, so I feel pretty bad now." I wonder if it was Amon-Ra St. Brown who threw the touchdown pass that Jared Goff caught.
Yeah, Amon-Ra had a pretty incredible game also, but wasn't perfect.
Nope. Only Jared Goff was perfect.
We recognize you, Jared Goff.
Yeah,
even if your coach doesn't.
Yeah. Really I did not watch that much football this week. I paid attention online, everybody. Don't worry. But I watched the Lions game. I just feel
Lions fan.
So pleased with my choice. Not just because they won. Like, they're so fun to watch. They do a lot of like tricksy razzle dazzle plays. They have good personalities that are just like enjoyable. They're bringing me joy. I'm like a real fan out here.
They were really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I had fun watching them. Jared Goff, he just looked so happy. I mean, he should have been happy. But
Your team used to bring you joy.
they used to. One day they will again.
I'm prepared that one day I will be a Lions fan forever, that one day they might not bring me as much joy. But I'm going to ride this wave while
it's a long life we have. But it's the only one.
Okay, we are going to kick off our top stories this week with one of our favorite things, and that is controversy that stems from Instagram comments and likes.
That's where you get the real gossip.
An unfollow, a like, a repost, anything that gives drama. We love it. Okay, so this one started on Sunday after the Raiders beat the Browns. Sports Illustrated posted on Instagram a tweet that quoted one of their columnists saying, "Don't be surprised if Davante Adams has already played his last snap with the Raiders."
Which he did not play on Sunday. He
didn't?
He was hurt with a hamstring injury.
Oh, thanks for that background. Okay, so he didn't even play. So it's implying that like last week was his...
Week 3
was his. Okay. So that tweet that said he maybe played his last snap as a Raider, head coach Antonio Pierce liked that Instagram post of a screenshot of the tweet. So that's dramatic.
Someone's got to get this guy media training because this is the second week in a row where we're talking about Antonio Pierce either saying something he shouldn't say, liking something he shouldn't like.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think he unliked it either. I think he liked it and the like remained. So then the columnist who they were quoting, Michael Fabiano, he's the Sports Illustrated writer, he screenshot or screen recorded the video that shows who liked that Instagram post and shows that Antonio Pierce liked it and posted that. So now it's drawing attention to the fact it's not just for the sleuths to know that he liked it. Now we all know. So then Tuesday, the next day, Devontae Smith is on with Kay Adams, who we talked about because there were rumors that she was dating Daniel Jones. She's a football reporter host. Devontae Adams was on with her, and she said, okay, so we all saw that Antonio Pierce liked that post. How long after the like happened did you hear from him? Was it like right away? And he said, I still haven't heard from him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
it's been like a few full days.
Totally. And like,
did he just forget that he liked that?
It's not just the like, it's now the attention around the like.
Yeah.
And he's still not reaching out. He said, Devontae Adams said, I just keep my head down and keep doing my thing and let the chips fall where they may. And then about an hour later, a Raiders reporter broke that Raiders had begun reaching out to other teams to gain interest in Adams, which means a trade is brewing.
Yeah. And then on Tuesday, it's now official that Davante Adams has requested a trade.
It happened so quickly.
Escalating. So I wonder, like, has he still not talked to Antonio Pierce? Is he just like annoyed that he's like, fine, I'll request a trade? Or maybe they've discussed it. The timeline's moving quickly. But.
And you would assume they're at practice together. They're in the facilities together. Like, are they walking by each other in the hallway and just like fully not mentioning the repost, the controversy, the Kay Adams thing? Like,
Devontae's, at least last season, he was a really big fan of Antonio Pierce.
Yes, because he really didn't like the previous coach.
Yeah, but he has had obviously some visible frustrations with the team.
Mm-hmm.
He also called out players last week for making business decisions. He agreed with his coach on that comment.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So
I thought maybe we all misinterpreted and Antonio Pierce was talking about Davante Adams making business decisions, but I guess that's not correct.
I mean, he could have been, but maybe Davante tried to cover it up and said he agreed.
Yeah. So if he is in fact going to be traded, where do we think he's going?
There's a few potential places that would make sense, I think, for him to go to. Mm-hmm. One is the Jets. Davante Adams played with Aaron Rodgers on the Packers for many years, so I could see him wanting to go back and play with Aaron Rodgers. They obviously need some help on the Jets. So that seems like a pretty natural fit for him.
Totally.
Another rumor is the Chiefs after the Week 4 collision between Rashid Rice and Mahomes. I don't know if you saw that play, but that was
I saw a replay.
crazy. Yeah, so they're down another wide receiver.
Because he tore his ACL or has maybe tore his ACL. We're like waiting for the final word on that at the time of this recording. But yeah, it seems like he's going to be out for a while. Okay.
And Devontae Adams has said like he wants to win.
He wants to be on a winning team. How do the Chiefs have any more money?
But I doubt they have any money to pay him.
Okay.
And then the other rumored trade is to Pittsburgh because they don't really have too many receivers either. Right now they have George Pickens and one of the players for the Steelers, Cordell Patterson, who's a running back, after he saw the interview with Kay Adams, posted on Twitter and said, sounds like someone wants to be a Steeler.
Oh, everyone's putting it all out there.
So they're trying to recruit him over there as well. I mean, who wouldn't want Devontae Adams to help bring them to the playoffs?
Yeah. Although it does seem from watching him on receiver last year and from everything that like he might not be the best vibes.
He's very serious.
Yeah. But
he wants to win.
He wants to win. And
he thinks he's the best.
We'll get into all of this, but what we talked about last week when Baker Mayfield was like talking about how maybe Tom Brady's vibes weren't that good. Like, do you want good vibes or do you want to win?
Exactly.
So Devontae Adams wants to win.
He wants to win. He doesn't care about vibes.
Yeah.
But the trade deadline is officially November 5th. I think.
Oh, there's a deadline.
There's a deadline. So there'll be some movement up until.
It's like the drop ad period in college.
Yeah, drop your course.
Oh, so you can't trade. Is that true for fantasy also? Can you not trade anymore after a time?
No, that doesn't work for fantasy.
You can trade as much as you want in fantasy.
Yeah, we're lucky.
I have some trades to make. Actually, I meant to do that yesterday. Sorry.
But it sounds like the Raiders, they're open to a trade. They want, in return for Devontae, they want a second-round pick and additional compensation. So I think if they want that value, they would probably make some moves pretty soon because the longer that he stays on the Raiders, I would just assume his value decreases because there's less of a chance for them to win. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Right. Like what date did you say the deadline was?
November 5th.
Okay. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Like if you're trading somebody at the end, they can only lift your winning record up so much. Okay. Can't wait to see where it ends up. He had a really nice house in Vegas. I wonder if they're going to sell it if he moves or just, using the context we got from Receiver on Netflix. Tune in. Another bit of turmoil, drama, beef between
we love it all
between a coach and a player this week on the 49ers. Coach Kyle Shanahan, that's his name, right? And Brandon Ayuk, who we talked a lot about because he couldn't commit if he wanted to be on the team, if he wanted to be traded.
There was some long contract negotiations.
He committed. He's on the 49ers, but it seems like the vibes might be a little bit off there as well. On Friday, a video was leaked from practice or taken. I don't know if it was leaked, but there was video from practice. I guess it's casual Friday, they said. I don't know if that was a joke or not.
Fun.
But they weren't in the 49ers weren't in full uniforms. It was like wear like a jersey and black shorts.
Yes, casual shorts.
And Brandon Ayuk came wearing red shorts.
Too casual.
Way too casual. It's not like they were yellow shorts. Like they were 49ers red. And maybe if you
are colorblind.
I was going to say maybe if you're like an asset to the team in both attitude and ability, the red shorts would be okay.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan did not think the red shorts were okay. So in the video, you can't hear anything, but you can see Kyle Shanahan sort of like barking at Brandon Ayuk, who then on the field with his helmet on, takes his shoes off, takes his shorts off, and puts a pair of black shorts on and kicks the red shorts off like
temper tantrum.
It was full temper tantrum. It looked like a little kid who didn't want to put on his pajamas, and his parents are like, "It's bedtime. You have to put on your pajamas," and he like kicks off his school clothes. Like that's what it looked like to me. And then he put on the black shorts, and
you're right. Yeah, if Brandon Ayuk was maybe playing better, he could have gotten away with the red shorts.
But he hasn't been doing great.
He hasn't been playing well. Yeah, not well enough to get the extra treatment. He's been averaging 42 yards per game, which is not that impressive considering there hasn't been, or for most of those games, there hasn't been Debo available, George Kittle. So he should be getting a lot more reps and yardage and just not happening.
And Kyle Shanahan, somebody asked him in like a post-practice interview. It seemed like maybe like Brandon Ayuk wasn't wearing the right shorts today. And he said, yeah, he wasn't wearing the right shorts today. Thank you for that question. Like, I wish I could wear different shorts. It seemed tense and hostile between the two of them.
Yeah, it was I feel like a hostile off season.
Yeah.
They were really working on that contract for a long time, but I feel like they're still butting heads. Maybe the 49ers are realizing they didn't get what they wanted with all the money that they're paying.
Seems like they need a team building activity. Who was it that couldn't stop losing and they did an escape room? Maybe last season. It was either the Jets or
I know Zach Wilson got his locker room ice cream cones.
Yeah. One of the teams that like couldn't get it together did an escape room in the hopes of bonding. So maybe something like that. Maybe bowling. Just something to get
some more bonding out there. Yeah. Speaking of injuries on the 49ers, we have to talk about the latest injury news with Christian McCaffrey.
I don't have injury news about Christian McCaffrey, but I do have news about Christian McCaffrey, and that is that this week he and Olivia Culpo, his recent wife, just bought George Clooney's LA mansion. Is that not what you were going to say?
I love that for them, but not quite what I was going to say.
Okay.
Injury news was that McCaffrey flew to Germany to visit a specialist a few weeks ago. And the latest update is that now he has Achilles tendonitis in both of his legs. So they thought it was only one leg. He missed the first game. It was announced 30 minutes or like 90 minutes before the game that he wasn't going to play. And they placed him on injury reserve. So people were very upset because obviously they knew this. They selected Christian McCaffrey first for their fantasy team.
Yeah. But like, so this man has not played 1 minute of football this whole season, and it turns out he has this big injury. He's seeing specialists. They knew before 30 minutes before the game that he was not able to play.
Achilles is a very sensitive area that we saw a lot of injuries last year. Like you wouldn't want to mess around. Like they should have known.
I wonder if it inhibited his dancing at his wedding this summer.
Maybe that's when it all started.
Maybe he danced too hard.
Danced too much. I guess what happened in Germany is he's undergoing some stem cell treatment.
Interesting.
Which is a common procedure that they have, I guess not in the U.S., but in other countries. Germany is one of them. And there's been some other athletes who've traveled to Germany to get this treatment.
Like who?
It's Kobe Bryant, Peyton Manning, A-Rod.
Wow.
And Kirk Cousins. He didn't go to Germany, but he went to Antigua.
Oh my God. That's
nice
so interesting.
Caribbean trip.
Get a little tan while you're getting your stem cell therapy.
Yeah, I guess it seems to have worked for them.
Okay.
It's rumored, obviously now that it's been announced that both of his feet or legs are having this issue, that he's going to be out until at least early November. But even that, I'm having a hard time believing because I don't trust anything the 49ers say anymore about this injury.
No, I saw a tweet because like first it was that he had a little injury, and then it was that he had an Achilles injury, then it was Achilles tendonitis, then it was in both legs. I saw a tweet that said, at this rate, next week we're going to find out he doesn't have legs. Like
seriously,
it's very slow.
Like they're just dropping little tidbits, injury tidbits.
I hope that like for his sake, not just for the team and for the fantasy of it all, that he's getting healthy out there in Germany.
Seems like he's really working hard to get better. But I can't help but think about how this all has to do with the Madden Curse.
Okay, yes. I don't know a lot about the Madden Curse. You told me a little bit about it, but so Madden is he's a man, but he's also a game. It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a football game.
Video game. Okay.
And each year there's a new player on the cover of the Madden video game.
Like
EA
a prestigious. It's like a famous guy.
Everyone wants to be on the cover. You're like means you're one of the greatest.
Okay.
But
or does it?
Or does it mean something's going to happen to you? The player featured on the cover of this EA Sports annual cover is doomed to encounter something bad happen to them, whether they have a horrible season, get a really bad injury. That is a Madden Curse that we have seen before. We might be witnessing it right now.
I mean, I think we have to be. So Christian McCaffrey was the most recent cover boy.
He was this is his year on
Cover
the cover.
man.
And when he was asked about it in the summer, he was like, I'm not superstitious at all. This is amazing. I can't wait to be on the cover.
I wonder if he already knew he was having Achilles issues at the time that he was asked about this.
Well, then he shouldn't have said yes, because he's just continuing on this curse. But yeah, since 2000, I think, was when maybe the first game came out.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2000, there's been 58% of athletes on the cover have been cursed. So not like too many, but some notable ones I wanted to talk
More than
through.
half. Yeah.
One that impacted my life was when Rob Gronkowski was on the cover back in 2017.
What happened to him?
He missed 8 games that season with a hamstring injury.
I didn't know.
So that was not fun.
No.
And then going way back to 2005,
Mm-hmm.
one of the earlier cases, Michael Vick, who I don't like to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do a whole deep dive into the Michael Vick.
I wonder if it all started with this Madden cover, because he broke his leg right after the video game was released with his face on the cover.
That was either curse or karma.
Yeah, we'll find out the exact dates of everything. And then in 2008, another Madden Curse was Brett Favre was given the cover after his retirement.
Oh.
He then came back from retirement that year.
They love to do that.
Went to the Jets. The Jets were supposedly playoff bound. They were having a great season, and just fell quickly after Brett Favre joined the team because he had an undisclosed shoulder injury.
Wait, I didn't know. So Brett Favre was a Packers quarterback who went to the Jets?
Who went to the Jets.
And Aaron Rodgers was a Packers quarterback who went to the Jets. Wow, I didn't know. All right.
Yeah. History repeats, people.
Yeah, and then got injured. But Aaron Rodgers was not undisclosed.
It just we all saw it. And then while Tom Brady escaped the curse in 2018, the Patriots did not escape the curse because they lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and that can be for no other reason but a curse.
Was that not to put salt in old wounds, that was the season that they were undefeated and then lost?
No, but
different.
Still not a fun one.
So he wasn't cursed, but like the curse rubbed off on his teammates.
Yeah, that's my take on it. And this year the curse seems to be back with a
vengeance.
With a vengeance for McCaffrey over there in Germany.
Well, wish him the best. I would like to talk more about the house just for a second. So, like I said,
let's hear some good things that are going on in Christian McCaffrey's life.
Yeah, it's not all
He's
bad.
got a lot of time now to redecorate a house.
And like he probably wants to be someplace spacious and luxurious while he's recuperating once he gets back from Germany. So he just purchased a 7,000 square foot 6-bedroom home for $14.5 million.
Whew.
Clooney has owned this house for nearly 30 years.
Wow.
He bought it for $2.2 million. So, inflation and all, but it's he sold it for a lot more than he made it for.
He got in there at a good time.
In 95, he bought it for $2.2 million from Stevie Nicks.
Wow.
So this is changing hands from one celeb to the next.
A lot of things have happened at that house.
Yeah, definitely. Some parties at that house.
Some parties.
Olivia Culpo did say last year in a TikTok when she was talking about planning her wedding that as soon as she gets married, she, and I'm quoting her, is going to rip out her IUD and start trying for a family.
Remember that one.
So, maybe they need more space, more rooms, nursery, etc.
Did you say where the house is?
LA.
Okay.
She actually already owns a home in LA. She has a $3.5 million home that she bought herself. Christian McCaffrey still owns a $12.5 million house in North Carolina because he was a Panther before a 49er.
Should sell that.
He listed it early this year, and last year he sold a $3 million condo that he also had in North Carolina. So he had a big house and a condo sold one, listed the other.
And now moving into George Clooney's house.
I wonder if they all met, got dinner or something, or if it was all just handled with the realtors.
Probably realtors.
Yeah, maybe George Clooney left.
They're in different scenes, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's some good happening.
I wonder if George Clooney is a football fan. I'm sure that would be a quick Google to find out. Oh, no, but he was in that football movie Leatherheads. But no, he doesn't seem to be a football fan, so he probably doesn't care. That's it. That's their history of real estate.
Injuries in real estate. Only here, folks. We've talked about beef on the field, off the field, but now it's time for our new segment, Post-Game Chit-Chat. We've got Andrew reporting live from the field. Andrew?
I'm on the field with the star of the game right now. How did you pull it off? Well, there you have it. Back to you, Marisa and Kelly.
Our audio department really outdoing themselves. I think that was the dad from The Waterboy. I don't know how it sounds.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, Kelly.
Thanks, Andrew. So let's dive into some things these players have said after the games.
Yes, so we know my favorite part of the game is the good games at the end when they're all like, good game, good game, good game. They're trading shirts.
Gaming.
They're good gaming. After the good games, these reporters snag them over and interview them while they're in the heat of the moment. And sometimes they say interesting things that don't make sense. One of my faves from this week, Erin Andrews, got Baker Mayfield after their big win against the Eagles. And she was like, it's so hot in here. Like, I can't, not in here, out here. Like, it's so hot in Florida. Like, I can't imagine playing. Like, tell me what it's like playing in such hot weather. And he said, well, I changed my pants during halftime show. Not halftime show. During halftime. So sweaty.
And she said, I wish I could have done that.
Yeah. So it's like nice fall weather here in New York, but I guess it's still pretty hot in Florida. So hot that you need to change your pants halfway through the game.
Yeah, you gotta be feeling fresh after halftime.
I saw the headline that was like, Baker Mayfield changes his pants during the game. I assumed like he shit his pants, but that wasn't it. He was just really hot. But it's
swamp ass.
It's these tidbits that we get during the post-game chit-chat.
I love it. Yeah. I have one that I wanted to share too.
Okay.
So Joe Flacco, name blast from the past, he was a quarterback for the Ravens, a few other teams.
Super Bowl winning
Ravens.
I know Joe Flacco because he went to the same college as me. He graduated right before my freshman year. And everybody's like, oh, you should have been here last year. We were so good at football. And then we were not good at football when I was a student.
Missed the glory days.
Yeah.
Well, he's back. He's back in the league. He's still playing, still going. So you can watch him again.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco stepped in after Anthony Richardson was hurt during the Colts-Steelers game. Mm-hmm. Anthony Richardson went out with a hip injury. Joe Flacco stepped in and led the Colts to a win over the previously undefeated Steelers.
Oh.
So that was exciting for the Colts, exciting for Joe Flacco. He seemed really happy after the game. A sideline reporter was talking to him, obviously talking about him being back in the league, and told Flacco, he was like, ran over, he's like, I have to tell you, Anthony Richardson told the CBS crew that you're cooler than he thought. Like, he was like, I gotta tell him this.
Yeah. Slightly backhanded compliment.
Yeah. And Flacco responded saying, he told me his mom's 8 days older than I am. And so there's no chance in the world he thinks that I'm cool.
Oh, tough. I mean, so he's 38.
He's 39.
Oh, he's 39.
Almost 40.
All right. And Anthony Richardson is probably like 23.
Yeah, his mom's the same age as his backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Now we don't know who the backup is. But
Joe Flacco is like such a dad. He has 5 kids.
He's married to like his high school sweetheart.
Yeah. So I think some of these older guys, older for football, not for life, you know? They seem like they're really holding on to their glory days. Like they're like, what are you doing here? You're too old to be here. Like, go enjoy retirement. I don't get that from Joe Flacco. For me, Joe Flacco seems like he's happy to be here.
Happy, yeah.
He's chill if he plays. He's chill if he doesn't. He like thinks it's cool that he's still playing. He's not like white knuckling. Like, I will not get older. I will still be the star. He's like,
I need to be a starter. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's cool. I used to be a star, and now like sometimes I'm on the
Super Bowl.
bench. Sometimes I'm playing. Like, he seems very.
My quarterback is
Young enough to be my child.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like pissed that he's not the star anymore. He seems like, let me know where you need me, and I'm there.
And I have been like, okay, I never felt this way with Tom Brady. Maybe because I'm biased. He was my quarterback. He's good looking out there. He looks young. He looks like everyone else's age. And I feel like, I don't know, the time he was playing, like he was playing with Gronk and like other people close to his age.
Yeah.
But I have noticed, like watching the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, he looks so much older than everybody else out there. And I'm like, what is he doing? What, playing with these children?
Yeah.
Let them play.
Yeah, like give them their moment.
Which I'm sure they're really glad he's there. But
totally. I feel like he also is giving more coach than
vibes.
teammate.
Yeah.
Although maybe Joe Flacco is too. We don't know.
They have a lot of wisdom, so it makes sense if they're
imparting it
on their children running around them.
Yeah. But yeah, Flacco's response was funny. He didn't seem flattered. He was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think he thinks I'm cool.
He already told me. Yeah. But I think he's pretty cool for beating the undefeated Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Another one, this one was from the locker room, not from on the field. This I always found odd that like they finished the game, they're in their locker room, which is where they change and unwind and do any post-game rituals, but it's not. It's where they get like cornered at their locker with all these microphones in their face being like, why did you lose? Why did you drop the ball? Or sometimes they
can't escape. It's not fair.
Jamar Chase of the Bengals had a good slippery moment, I guess.
Slippery moment. I see what you did there.
He avoided some tackles and
didn't avoid the media.
Exactly. And one of the reporters said, were you wearing baby oil out there because you were able to slip through the Panthers tackles? Now, the current media cycle, baby oil, I don't know how closely everybody is following the Diddy arrest and lawsuit. So when his home was raided, 1,000 bottles of baby oil were found. His lawyer...
Nobody needs that.
Nobody needs that much baby oil. His lawyer said, well, he buys in bulk from Costco. And then Costco came out and they were like, don't drag us into this.
Yeah, seriously.
Jamar Chase had a similar sentiment. He was like, no, we got to keep that for somebody else. That's not my question right there. He goes, maybe I did that as a kid, though, but you can't even ask that anymore. There's too much going on in life right now with that. He didn't say, did he? But he
definitely implied it. He looked horrified by that question, which is honestly fair. Like, come on.
Read the room.
Yeah, read the room.
Read the
news.
Read the baby oil headlines. Not the time.
Don't associate anyone with that.
No.
Another pretty shocking post-game interview. This was after the Ravens' Week 3 win over the Cowboys, so a few weeks ago, when Lamar said that they needed that win so badly because people were on suicide watch.
Hyperbole, I'm assuming. So they had lost the first two games. And then they finally, Week 3, which I'm sure felt like an eternity, won. Yeah, he said that.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Media training.
We really needed this.
Team morale.
would have been good. He also said last week something like, I don't care about your guys' parlays. I don't care about your fantasy points. Like, I'm just out here trying to play. Lamar's had it with everyone.
That's fair. Like, he's Trying to live his life, not
Yeah.
give you points.
Yeah.
Didn't T. Higgins say something about that too before week 4? Like some fan was like, "Hey, should I play you this week?" And he was like, "Nah, bench me."
I bet the players are so annoyed by everybody caring about fantasy. They're like, this is my job and I'm here to like win games and win a Super Bowl. I don't care about your little video game thing. They would all be playing fantasy if they could.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, they have to make decisions for the team and not for themselves, which is fine.
not for our team.
Yeah, not for us.
Their team. I like the segment. I feel like there's always good, either funny or interesting or awkward things that they say after the games. So, well, let's add this one into the rotation.
I like this one too. Yeah, we'll keep sharing these. And that brings us to our final goss.
Final Goss.
What do you have for us, Marissa?
This week's final goss is about the Titans backup quarterback, Mason Rudolph, and whether or not he slid into a fan's DMs during a game.
During the game.
So a video was posted on Twitter from a guy who was showing his girlfriend's phone, which showed a DM from Rudolph that said "still in Miami?" ? During the Titans game against the Dolphins. The DM showed that it was sent 3 minutes ago and the game was actively happening.
So he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Rudolph came in after starting quarterback Will Levis was injured. He's having a tough season. I feel like
Will Levis, he has not been playing very well.
And there's all these memes of like awkward, embarrassing photos of him from each week.
Yeah, and his coach was yelling at him. We talked about that. But the Titans did beat the Dolphins, so.
And maybe while their players are on the phone.
Yeah, maybe while their players are texting.
So the boyfriend who posted the video and the girlfriend whose phone was shown both seem to be influencers. They create a lot of football-centered content. This tweet of the video that showed the Rudolph DM had 2.3 million views before being deleted. Maybe because it was fake. That's what we think. Maybe Rudolph's team or the Titans or somebody sent a cease and desist or made them take it down. Yeah.
Maybe Rudolph has like a girlfriend who was getting pissed.
Could be.
From the news.
After looking at the content that these two make and the video itself, I think super fake. And the fact that it was deleted. So it started getting a lot of attention. It got picked up from other like outlets that cover football news. But here to say, don't think it's real. Don't think you're allowed to have your phone with you while you're on the field. Pretty sure they're strict about that.
And don't trust everything you see out there on TikTok.
Exactly. Rudolph does seem to be single. He used to date Canadian tennis pro Eugenie, one of those. Bouchard. She has a big social media following. They broke up in March 2022. Also interesting about Mason Rudolph, he grew up with Drake May, who's the new
quarterback for the Patriots.
Yep.
One day will be the future.
Their dads not only played football together at UNC Chapel Hill, but they were roommates.
Wow.
And then stayed friends. When they had kids, they all went on vacation together. Mason Rudolph was homeschooled. And his mom ran track at Liberty University, which
interesting.
We know about Liberty University. If anybody watched the Hulu documentary about the scandal where
there's so many scandals that have happened at this school.
The main or one of the big ones was that so this is like a very, very conservative Christian university, like
Virginia,
strong code of ethics, no premarital sex, very anti-LGBTQ policies. Turns out that the president of the university and his wife met a pool boy in Miami, like brought him to live with them or stay with them, engage in sexual activities with them together, paid him payroll from the university, like bought him property that he owned and managed.
Crazy.
Eventually, the president of the university was forced to step down. The university was charged for mishandling sexual assault claims, mishandling COVID-19. mishandling
I can't believe the school
funds.
is still existing because they've had so many scandals. The president is
His wife. Oh,
for being such a strict school. Like this guy does whatever he wants.
He had to step down after, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was photos of him with his pants unzipped holding his wife's assistant.
Yeah. I don't know why she needs an assistant.
So that's where Mason Rudolph's mom went. So, and then he was homeschooled. So, like, do with all of that information
So
what
they're a
you
little
will.
nutty, potentially.
Yeah. So, all in all, I don't think he slid in those DMs. But there's a little background for everyone on Mason Rudolph.
Oh, and this just in, not really final goss worthy, but gotta add it at the end of this episode.
Okay, we love a this just in.
We have a hot live update about something we just discussed earlier in this episode. Our favorite active coach, or your favorite coach, Dan Campbell. He has made good on his mistake of not giving Jared Goff the game ball.
Aww.
As we said, he felt horrible. He didn't know that Goff had a perfect game until during the press meetings. So he found another game ball and presented it to Goff.
That was the right thing to do. Yeah, maybe the best game of his career. Although, who's to say his career's not over? Could be even better from here.
Best game so far.
But a perfect game with a receiving touchdown.
It's very cool.
Now he's got a game ball for it.
And Campbell said, normally what we do is I'll give out an immediate game ball afterwards. And normally we always have another one or two that show up like the day after the game after a win. So he's saying like, this is normal.
Yeah, I didn't make a mistake. And there's always extra game balls lying around.
Yeah, how many game balls are there?
Enough for Jared Goff.
And what if you get the game ball versus just a game ball?
Yeah.
But either way, we support you, Jared Goff. We recognize you from the beginning of this episode to the end.
Yep.
And that wraps up this episode of the Tea Huddle.
Thanks so much for being here with us. We will be back next week with all the good stuff once again.
Tune in every Thursday for updates on beef between players and coaches,
new fancy houses that people maybe are buying,
arrests and suspensions,
tangential scandals involving pool boys, all of that. I hope there's a new scandal involving a pool boy next week. So catch us there just in case there is.
And until then, stay juicy.